Shabbat Shalom, Parashat Toldot. A new generation is born. Twins come into the world, feuding, vastly different from one another, shaping the destiny of Am Yisrael. It is very difficult in a surface reading of the parashah to understand what the essence of the battle is all about. It seems to be that Yaakov is minding his own business, Esav is going in his own track, and suddenly Yaakov is kind of prodded and pushed into a situation in which he tricks, cheats, and steals from his brother. In fact, leading for justified reasons for his brother to be absolutely furious with him, to the point in which he justifiably wants to kill him, leading for Yaakov to be forced to run away. But behind the scenes, we must ask, what was it indeed that Yaakov so desperately wanted to get from Esav? What was it that in their youth Esav was all too ready to forgo, ridicule, and cast aside, and yet later in his years so desperately wanted back, and so desperately wanted to get from his father, and was so furious when Yaakov managed to cheat him and take it away from him? When Yaakov and Esav have this fascinating conversation, here Yaakov was preparing a stew as part of the mourning ceremony for the death of their grandfather Abraham. And Esav, the rebel, comes tired from the field after a day of murder and whatever other moral indiscretions that he had in the field. Thirsty and desperate, asks Yaakov for a drink. And Yaakov turns for him and says, "Oh, sure, you could have from this stew, but sell me the right of your firstborn. Sell me your Bechorah." What is it that Yaakov wants? What is this Bechorah? What kind of a strange request is it? What is it that means absolutely nothing to Esav and he is so eager to give it away? And yet, when it comes to the blessings that their father is going to give them, Yaakov has to give an entire operation to steal something that seemingly doesn't seem all that important. After all he really takes is a blessing for monetary wealth. Because the blessings that were given to Abraham and then passed down to Yitzchak were guaranteed for Yaakov, and Yitzchak gives it to him after he knows that he stole the blessing. Briefly, perhaps the message is that Esav knew very clearly that there is a destiny to be filled. And at first he thought that he had no share in it. He was going to forge his own destiny. Yaakov, knowing that he is going to be the heir of his father's legacy, he is going to be the father of the Jewish people, did not want to be dependent upon an Esav to make sure that he has what to eat. He knew that he would be devoted to spiritual life. He knew that he would be in the realm of the Torah learners. But he also wanted to make sure that he has the ability to provide for himself. He knew that if he was dependent upon Esav to provide for him, disaster would strike. So he manipulated everything around him to be able to become ready and worthy of this blessing. When Yitzchak hands down the blessing, he does not realize at first that Esav will not be part of the fold. When he discovers it, he is struck with a great fear, a great worry. But he understands over time that Rivka was right, and the destiny of the Jewish people is left in our own hands. We must provide for ourselves. We must find a balance between taking care of our monetary needs and taking care of our spiritual needs at the same time. Am Yisrael levadad yishkon. We stand alone amongst the nations. We cannot be dependent upon the other nations to provide for us. And we cannot depend on others to elevate our spiritual state. Today, more than any other time in Jewish history, you must strengthen yourselves to embrace both elements of our responsibility. To stand as an independent nation and to make sure that the nation is heading in the right spiritual direction. Shabbat Shalom v'chol tov.